Welcome, friends. I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness. Welcome to Stability Meets Mobility. This is our functional yoga program. And tonight's class is going to be a fire and metal class. So what exactly does that mean? Well, we're going to be placing specific attention on muscles that are associated with the secondary channel of lung and large intestine meridians from traditional Chinese medicine. So these muscles that we're going to place special emphasis tonight, we work in every yoga class. So nothing earth-shattering tonight, but they will be getting more special attention. So in particular, you might anticipate work on the diaphragm, serratus anterior, deltoids, hamstrings will all feature prominently in tonight's practice. Now, what I think you need to be safe to enjoy and get the most out of your practice is a sticky surface like a yoga mat on which to practice, and one, or better yet, two yoga blocks. So press pause on your device, roll out your mat, gather up your materials, and when you're ready, press play, and I'll meet you on your mat. No worries. So friends, I'm gonna have you start in child's pose. And I'm gonna give you a breath work it's not unconventional for yoga, but it's a little unusual to do it in child's pose. We're gonna do a three-part yogic breath. So to start inhaling through your nose, but fill your belly up. And then as you exhale, let your belly deflate. So fills up like a balloon. Inhale into your belly. Exhale from your belly, understanding that you can literally only breathe into your lungs. Inhale into your belly. Exhale, release. Good. Now this will start the same. Inhale into your belly. And then once the belly's full, inhale to inflate the lungs. Exhale, deflate the lungs, deflate the belly. Same thing, belly first, and then lungs. And then exhale in the opposite direction. Good, one more like that. And the only thing that we're gonna add the accessory muscles. So inhale into your belly, inhale into your chest, and then inhale as if you could inhale into the crown of your head. Maybe feel the muscles in your shoulders, and your arms engage a little bit. And then as you exhale, exhale in the opposite order. And continue that breath as we go through our reading, which comes from chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita, the Cosmic Vision. Arjuna said, "Graciously, Lord, you've spoken about the ultimate secret revealed when one knows the self, and your words have cleared up my confusion. You've told me in detail the origin and dissolution of all things and have described your own vast, imperishable being. I do not doubt that you are what you say you are, Lord, and yet I want to see for myself the splendor of your ultimate form. If you think I'm strong enough, worthy enough to endure it, grant me now, Lord, a vision of your vast, imperishable self." The blessed Lord said, "Look, Arjuna, thousands, millions of my divine forms, beings of all kinds and sizes, of every color and shape. Look, the sun gods, the gods of fire, dawn, sky, wind, storm, wonders that no mortal has ever beheld. Look, look, Arjuna. The whole universe, all things animate or inanimate, are gathered here. Look, look, enfolded inside my infinite body. But since you are not able to see me with mortal eyes, I will grant you divine sight. Look, look, the depths of my power." And this is from our narrator. After he had spoken these words, Krishna, the great Lord of Yoga, revealed to Arjuna his majestic, transcendent, limitless form. With innumerable mouths and eyes, faces too marvelous to stare at, dazzling ornaments, innumerable weapons uplifted, flaming, crowned with fire, wrapped in pure light, with celestial fragrance. He stood forth as the infinite God, composed of all wonders. If 1,000 suns were to rise and stand in the noon sky, blazing, such brilliance would be like the fierce brilliance of that mighty self. Arjuna saw the whole universe unfolded with its countless billions of life forms gathered together in the body of the God of gods. Trembling with awe, his blood chilled, the hair standing up on his flesh, he bowed, and joining his palms spoke these words to the Lord. And we'll hear those words next week. Start to shift into your Ujjayi breath. And walk both hands off to the right. Your right hand may come all the way off the mat. Your left hand may cover the top of your right hand. And you could, if you like, even walk your left hand further to the right than your right hand. Feel for space and length along the whole left side of your body. And then walk your hands back across the center of your mat. Change directions. Left hand comes off your mat. Right hand covers the back of your left. Maybe even walk your right hand further over to the left. Then walk your hands back to center. On your next inhale, lift up into tabletop. Floating your shoulders over your wrists, floating your hips over your knees. On an inhale, drop your belly down toward the earth. Lift your chin forward. Drag the heels of your hands back towards your knees. Exhale, press into your hands and your shins round through your shoulders. Do this 5 more times at your own pace into the cadence of your own breath. You've had a chance to work through 6 full iterations, come back to neutral. And we're going to articulate movement in the spine still, but in a little different movement. So press your right rib cage over to your right. Shift your gaze over to your left, maybe even sneaking a peek of that left heel. Inhale, come back into center. Exhale, press your left rib cage, the left side of your rib cage over to the left. Shift your gaze over to the right. Center. Gaze to the left. Center. Gaze to the right. Center. Gaze to the left. Center. Gaze to the right. Come back into center, then walk your hands back toward your knees. Sit back onto your heels or 1 or 2 blocks. Then bring your arms together in front of your face. Bring the fingertips together, palms of your hands. And then if you can start to track your forearms and elbows together, they will not touch in every body. That's okay. Elbows just below chin level. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze everything together. And then on your next inhale, big expansion through the diaphragm. Feel your rib cage lift. Lift your fingertips up, maybe 2 or 3 inches. Exhale, bring your elbows back to your starting position. Inhale, lift the fingertips up. Exhale, lower them down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, lift the fingertips up. Feel the rib cage expand. Exhale, press the fingertips up as high as you can. Ooh. Then bring them back to our starting position. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3 breaths. Inhale right here. Exhale, release your right hand to your heart. Shift your gaze to the right. Open your right arm up to the side. Inhale, come back to center. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Left hand to your heart. Gaze to the left. Open your left arm up. Center. Squeeze. Right. Center. Squeeze. Left. Center. Squeeze. Right. Center. Squeeze. Left. And come back to center. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3 breaths. Then release your arms, shake your arms out. Good job. Make your way back into tabletop. And then from tabletop, on an inhale, tuck your toes under your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. In whatever small movements warm your lower body, make those movements. Find stillness in your lower body. Flatten your palms out. Take a look at your index fingers, index knuckles at 12 o'clock, and really ground down into your index knuckle and thumb. Press your belly, your chest closer to your thighs. Press your thighs closer to your chest and your belly. Relax your neck. And on an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or step to the top edge of your mat, ragdoll. And we're going to do a PNF stretch from here. So feet hip distance apart, shift the weight into your heels, or rather into the balls of your feet. Bend your knees enough that your whole belly rests on your thighs, and then engage the backs of your legs like you were squeezing everything together. So for my body, I feel this from engagement from my heels all the way up to my glutes. Turn everything on and breathe. Breathe the whole time. This is a nervous system hack to overcome that stretch reflex. When we get close to the edge of our range of motion, the nervous system tends to tense up and the muscles contract. It's a protective mechanism. So this can override that. Relax that muscular engagement. Notice if the crown of your head comes any closer to the earth. And then that same PNF stretch one more time. So everything along the back line of your body, from your heels to your glutes, light that up. Turn all those muscles on. Squeeze, 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 and engage. Relax your neck if you can. Now release that muscular engagement. Heel toe your feet together. Shift the weight into your heels. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press down into your feet. Sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, slice your hands down into heart center. Take 2 breaths with a soft gaze at the tip of your fingers to set an intention. We start to move into sun salutations. We'll start with classical suns with a low lunge and a side bend. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, hinge into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left leg back, tap that left knee down, maybe pat up under that left knee. Engage your left glute, release your hips forward. Hands could be on the mat, they could be on blocks, on that thigh, or your hands could reach up toward the stars. Only if your hands are reaching up toward the stars. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, take a side bend to your right. So each time we come through this, the side bend, we'll start on the side of the forward knee. Inhale, come back up into center. Exhale, side bend to your left. Inhale, lift up into center. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat, high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, tap your knees down to the earth. Hands and arms shoulder width apart, lower down to your belly. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Slide your hands forward. Float your shoulders over your elbows. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Soften your belly. Inhale. Exhale, release your heart down to the earth. Bring your hands under your shoulders, downward facing dog. Inhale in down dog. Exhale, step your left leg forward. Tap the right knee down. Sweep your arms up over your head. Or any other arm variation. What's more important than that to me is that it's foundationally strong. So right glute engaged, hips releasing forward. And then only if the arms are reaching out over your head. Inhale, find length. Exhale, drop your hands off to your left. Ooh. Inhale, come back up into center. Exhale, drop your hands off to the right. When we transition, the next transition will be to a forward fold at the top edge of the mat. Inhale, lift back up into center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, slice your hands down into heart center. Inhale, reach your arms over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step your right leg back. Tap that right knee down. Low lunge. Rise on your inhale. Exhale, side bend to your left. Inhale, lift back up into center. Exhale, side bend to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale, high plank. Inhale and high plank. Exhale, lower down to your belly. Knees up or down. Inhale, open your heart. Go back to Sphinx or Easy Cobra or even Up Dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and down dog. Exhale, step your right leg forward. Tap the left knee down. And then at the top of this movement, take a side bend to your right. Lift up into center, side bend to your left. Inhale, lift up into center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, draw your hands into heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg back, low lunge. And then side bend to your right. Inhale, lift up into center. Exhale, side bend to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, high plank. Inhale and high plank. Exhale, lower down to your belly. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, step your left leg forward. Low lunge. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, take a side bend to your left. Inhale, lift back up into center. Exhale, side bend to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms skyward. Exhale, forward fold. It's really good, you guys. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg back, low lunge. Side bend to your left. Lift up into center. Side bend to your right. Lift up into center. Exhale, high plank. Inhale and high plank. Exhale, lower down to your belly. In your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and down dog. Exhale, step your right leg forward. Last little lunge of the practice. Rise on your inhale. Exhale, take a side bend to your right. Inhale, lift up into center. Exhale, side bend to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Any version of chair. Weight in the heels. Scoop your belly button towards your sternum. Nice, long, straight spinal column. Looks really good, you guys. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Inhale to rock forward on your toes. Float your shoulders over your wrists. Make the back of your head buoyant. And then as you exhale, knees up or down. Chaturanga, come halfway down. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right heel skyward. Exhale, step it forward. Rise up into warrior one. Right toes at 12 o'clock, left toes at 8 to 10 o'clock. Ground down into all four corners of your right foot, the pinky edge blade and heel of your left foot. Now, I'd like you to experiment with the legs and see if you can get into the hamstrings. So first, that might feel like traditionally we cue this to spread the feet apart. I find if I draw the feet together, I get into the hamstrings more. So try that. And then any arm variation. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands down to the earth. Step back into high plank. And then you chart your own course to down dog. You can press directly there. You can flow through a vinyasa. You could take a break in child's pose. Maybe stop for a drink of water. Inhale your left heel up toward the stars. Exhale, step it forward into warrior one. So same thing, if you would, experiment with engaging the legs in a way that really gets in, turns the hamstrings on. So to me, that's peeling the feet together. Soften the muscles around your eyes, soften the quality of your gaze. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands down to the earth, high plank, and then chart your own course to down dog. On an inhale, lift your right heel up toward the stars. Exhale, step forward, rise back up into warrior one. And then this time, goalpost the arms out to the side, make little fists. Inhale, draw your shoulder blades together, lift your gaze, open your heart. Exhale, join your hands, wrists, forearms, and elbows. Release your chin to your chest, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into goalpost arms. Good, you guys. Exhale, release your hands down to the earth. Chart your own course to down dog. On an inhale, lift your left heel skyward. Exhale, rise up into warrior one. Just like the other side, you can choose between any arm configuration. This is just an invitation to goalpost your arms. Inhale, lift your gaze, draw your shoulder blades together, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into goalpost arms. Exhale, release your hands down to the earth, high plank. And then get to down dog in whatever way makes the most sense to you. From your downward facing dog, draw on a life affirming breath. And then open your mouth, let it out with a ha sound. Good. Inhale, lift your right heel. Exhale, step forward, rise up into crescent warrior. With your right knee either floating directly over or behind your right ankle. If it feels okay for your foot, come up under the ball of your left foot. The heel lifted any amount. And then your hands could be on that front thigh, heart center. Fingers could reach for the stars. Or just one more option, plug your elbows into the bottom of your rib cage. Forearms parallel to the earth, palms face the sky. Spread between the pinky finger and thumb of both hands. Inhale, cross the palms of your hands in front of you. Exhale, leave your elbows plugged into your rib cage. Reach your thumbs as far behind you as you can. Inhale, cross in the center. Exhale, reach your thumbs back behind you. Inhale, cross. Exhale, reach your thumbs back behind you. Continue to breathe. Even if they don't physically move, continue making an effort as if your thumbs could reach further and further back behind you. Your next inhale, bring your hands into heart center. Little hinge forward at the hips. Exhale, revolved crescent warrior with your left elbow on the outside, top, or inside of your right thigh. Inhale, lengthen along your whole spinal column. Exhale, rotate your hips back to the left, rotate your heart more to the right, and breathe. Two more breaths and we'll do a big opening up into warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, open up into warrior two. That looks really good, you guys, really strong. Shift your gaze out over the left-hand edge of your mat. On an inhale, flip your palms up, lift your gaze, turn your thumbs back behind you, open your heart. Exhale, turn your palms down, up in the opposite direction, round through your shoulders, really good. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into warrior two arms. Exhale right here. And then on an inhale, flip your right palm. Let it draw you forward. Maintain warrior legs. Exhale, open up into peaceful warrior. Any version of a peaceful warrior. Anything you like with that left arm. Anything you like with your gaze. All right, so the next transition will be directly into extended side angle. Inhale right here. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Right elbow to the inside of your right inner thigh. Your choice with that left hand. Yep, great alignment, you guys. Your heart pressing into that imaginary, the back of your heart pressing into that imaginary wall. The cue I always heard in this is imagine you were being squeezed between two panes of glass, which I think sounds awful. I saw a meme recently of a person's expression when they were trying to process being squeezed between two panes of glass. On your next inhale, lift up into warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Let your left hip pocket draw back behind you. And right hand forward and down into Trikonasana triangle pose. Nice place for a block under that right hand. Imaginary wall behind our head and shoulders again. Your next inhale, let your left hand draw you all the way up to standing. Put the bend back in your right knee, back into warrior two. Inhale right here. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the earth, high plank. And then make your way into down dog in whatever way makes the most sense to you. On an inhale, lift your left heel up toward the stars. Exhale, step forward, rise up into crescent warrior. Just like the other side, any arm variation, or plug your elbows into the bottom of your rib cage. Palms face the sky, spread between the thumb and pinky finger of both hands. Inhale, cross in the center. Exhale, reach your thumbs back behind you. Inhale, cross in the center. Exhale, reach your thumbs back. Inhale, cross. Exhale, reach your thumbs back. Continue to breathe. Continue to effort as if you could reach the thumbs further back. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands into heart center. Inhale, find a little hinge forward at the hips. Exhale, revolved crescent warrior. So that bottom hand, I like to make a fist and then place the top hand flat on top of the fist. So kind of a paper covers rock. And I get a little bit more torque to go deeper into the twist when my body calls for that. 2 more breaths and then we'll open into warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Shift your gaze over the right hand edge of your mat. On an inhale, flip your palms up, turn your thumbs back behind you, lift your gaze, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into warrior two arms. Exhale right here. And then on your next inhale, flip your left palm, let it draw you forward. Exhale, open up your left rib cage, peaceful warrior. Inhale in peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Find a place for your gaze that's satisfying, that's pleasing for your neck, that feels healing. And then on an inhale, lift up into warrior two. Straighten your left leg, right hip pocket back behind you, and then triangle pose. Next inhale, let your right hand draw you all the way up to standing. Put the bend back in your left leg, warrior two legs. And then cartwheel your hands down to the earth. high plank. And then from here, tap your knees down to the earth, lower down to your belly, half frog. Goal post your arms out to the side. Fingers point up past the top edge of your mat. Shift your gaze to the right. Lift your right knee up in the general direction of your right elbow. So I taught this sequence on Monday, and one of the folks in the class told me afterwards, this is 3 weeks in a row you had us do half frog on one side and the other. I can't do it another week. What do you need me to do? Rivet on the other side? So I'm going to try to remember to do the other side, but if I don't, make a rivet sound or something and make sure we get you guys balanced. Roll your right knee back down in line with your left. Bring your gaze to neutral. Bring your hands down by your waist. Lengthen your legs long behind you. And then on an inhale, scoop your belly button to your sternum. Feel your pubic bone root down into the earth. Exhale, lift up into Salabhasana, locust pose. Chest lifts up, thighs lift up. Draw your shoulder blades back together and engage the legs as if you were squeezing them together. Now, they could be hip distance apart. That's no problem. But make the effort as if you were squeezing them back together. Scoop your belly button even more towards your sternum. Feel your pubic bone root down more. Lift up any amount higher. Exhale, lower your heart down to the earth. Flip your palms up to the sky. Rest your right cheek on the mat. Shift your gaze back to neutral. Flip your palms down toward the earth again. On an inhale, scoop your belly button towards your sternum. Exhale, lift your thighs, lift your chest, a second locust. Same arms, or if you like, interlace your hands together behind your back. Press your knuckles back towards your heels. Lift up any amount higher. And then lower down, half frog. Go post your arms out to the side. Shift your gaze to the left. Lift your left knee up in the general direction of your left elbow. And lower your left knee back down in line with your right. Come onto your right side, grab a block. If you have any shoulder issues, you might skip this one. But tuck your block into your rib cage so that the bottom edge of the block is in the rib cage. The edge of the block closest to your armpit is just barely in the armpit. And then bring your left hand down to the mat between your torso and the left hand edge of your mat, just so you can walk the right up. And then release the right side of your head and face into your right hand. Is that okay for you? And there's a full range of motion. You can press your heart forward toward the banister, toward the left-hand edge of your mat. Or you could press the back of your heart toward the hearth behind you. But anywhere where you find a sweet spot. Release both hands down to the mat. Lift up, remove your block. Come back down onto your right side. And then move your right elbow so it's about 45 degrees from your butt. So maybe between your torso and that upper left-hand corner of your mat. Rest your right ear on your right bicep.
take the palm of your right hand facing down toward the earth, but draw the thumb in toward your chest. And then place your left hand on the back of your right hand. Not pushing, but just allowing a little bit of additional weight. And maybe feel for a stretch. This is supposed to be an internal rotation stretch. So maybe the top in front of your right shoulder. Release your left hand.
Now, bring your right hand to the center of your left rib cage. Put a bend in your knees. Bring your left hand to the base of your skull. I cued you wrong. It wasn't you. So right hand to the middle of your left rib cage. Left hand at the base of your skull. My mistake, friends. On an inhale, draw your belly button to your spine. Exhale, lift your left elbow up toward the stars. We'll exhale each pulse and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted. Inhale, draw your belly button toward your spine. Exhale, pulse 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower down, roll over onto your back and grab a block. Place the soles of your feet on the mat with a generous bend in your knees. Place the block in between your inner thighs as close to your pubic bone as you can, and then squeeze your block. Interlace both hands at the base of your skull. Elbows point up toward the stars. Inhale, draw your belly button towards your spine. Squeeze the block. Exhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders as high as you can. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted. Inhale, draw your belly button to your spine more. Squeeze the block more. Exhale, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower down, drop your block, roll over onto your left side. We're going to do that serratus hand. Actually, let's do the oblique crunches first. So come all the way down, put a bend in your knees, bring your left hand to the center of your right rib cage, right hand to the base of your skull. Inhale, draw your belly button to your spine. Exhale, lift your right elbow as high as you can. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted. Inhale, draw your belly button to your spine. Exhale, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, friends. Lower down. All right, and now you can make your way into that forearm side plank, just long enough to slide that block under your rib cage for our serratus anterior trigger point release. Right hand down to the mat between your block and the right hand edge of your mat. Slide that left elbow forward. And the other side, this is really easy for me on the other side, so I forgot to say this. This side, I'm super tender here. Remember that the job of that right hand is the dial knob on the sensation. So if it's way too much, press that right hand down into the mat or to the block. right, and that is quite enough of that. Release your right hand down to the mat, left hand down, lift up, remove your block, come back down onto your side, track that left elbow 45 degrees from your body, release your left ear to your left bicep, and then bring your left hand palm down, slice the thumb in towards your chest, place your right hand on the back of your left hand. Release your right hand down to the earth. Let your left arm go long. And then roll over onto your belly, make your way into tabletop, or however you want to get to tabletop. And then from tabletop, slide your right knee forward to the far right hand edge of your mat. Tuck your toes under your left foot, walk that left leg long, half pigeon. So you can either fold forward over that right shin, or you can stay lifted and allow gravity to drape that right hip down toward the earth. So the tendency is if it's elevated like mine is and yours is a little bit to shift over to the right, and that's less productive for the stretch. So if you can keep them centered, you'll get a little better stretch. I love what you did with the block under that hip there. That's a great strategy. Did that answer your question? Everybody teaches a little different. Yeah. Yeah, so the cue often is to bring that right shin parallel to the top edge of your mat. Most people can't do that, and it just sets us up for misery. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. All right, so if you're folded forward over that right shin, start to lift yourself up, and then sit down onto that right hip. Swing your left leg forward, right leg forward, Paschimottanasana. So I'm going to place a block under my seat to support myself. I'm going to grab a strap. Flex all 10 toes back towards your face. On an inhale, maybe lift your fingers up toward the stars. Exhale, start to hinge forward with a flat back. And when you've reached your maximum range of extension with a flat back, if you want to round in the upper back, that's just fine. No problem there. So with that front shin and half pigeon, the way that I use that, if somebody wants to add sensation, I think it's a great tool, but I think most people aren't going to be able to get, like for me, I would be miserable with that right shin parallel to the top edge of the mat. Yep. Yeah, that's right. Start to lift yourself back up. Get the support under your seat. Remove the support. Bring your left knee to the far left hand edge of your mat. Start sliding that left heel closer in towards your groin. It could be, we were just discussing that front shin parallel to the top edge of the mat and not, it's not wrong, but for most people, that's not very accessible. Slide your right leg further back behind you. Open your heart on an inhale, and maybe you stay right here, or maybe you fold forward over that left shin. If you fold it forward over that left shin, start to lift yourself up. And you can sit down onto your left hip, slide that right leg forward, and then make your way onto your back. To your arms out to the side. Place the soles of your feet on the mat with a generous bend in your knees. Walk your hips over to the right. Drop your knees off to the left. And only to add sensation, either shift your gaze out over the fingers of your right hand or straighten your left leg, let gravity draw the big toe edge blade of your left foot down to the earth, or both. Lift your knees back up to center. We're just going to change sides. Bring your gaze back to neutral. Shift your hips over to the left. Drop your knees off to the right. Ooh, and then maybe gaze to the left, maybe straighten your left leg. Lift your knees back up to center. And then make your way into any final resting shape on your seat, your belly, your back, or your side. You can release that Ujjayi breath. Just come back to a comfortable, natural breath. Start to draw some deeper breaths. And then begin to reanimate your body with any small movements. Maybe start with the digits or start with your chin. And then whenever you're ready, add larger movements. Yeah, full body stretch. You could drop your knees off from side to side. And then make your way into a fetal position. Take 3 or 4 breaths, check in, notice how you're feeling. Notice the state of your physical body first. But check in, notice the state of your nervous system as well. Press yourself up into any seated position with any soft eyes in any hands that you like. Thank you, friends, once again for allowing me to serve you tonight. So in traditional Chinese medicine, metal element has to do with letting go. So my hope for you is that if you're holding on to something that's difficult for you, you're able to let that go now and whenever you need. Draw your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows. Blessings to you and your family. And that concludes our practice for tonight. Great job. Friends, once again, I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness. Thank you for joining us for our Stability Meets Mobility Fire and Metal sequence. You're doing great. Keep going.